U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services literally set up a trap for a Palestinian to be arrested and deported by ICE. Yeah, you heard that correctly. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services called up a Palestinian permanent resident, a green card holder, to come take his citizenship exam, and then ICE arrested him when he showed up. Mehdawi, who is a Palestinian student at Columbia, has been a permanent resident living here in the U.S. for a decade, was expecting to have his citizenship exam take place in December or January, according to the timeline of a green card. And then, suddenly, now he was called in to take his citizenship exam. He anticipated that there was something fishy going on. He literally had a friend come with him, called his senators, called his U.S. representatives, told them all about it, had people on standby because he thought maybe this is a trap. And guess what? It was a fucking trap. محسن is a student at Columbia. He is the 9th student at Columbia to be targeted by this administration, by this regime. And after Mahmoud was arrested, the first Columbia student to be targeted, he literally sheltered in place because he was afraid that he was going to be targeted, because he was also being harassed and stalked and threatened by the same groups that were harassing and stalking and threatening Mahmoud, and who claimed victory for Mahmoud being arrested. Even before Mahmoud was arrested, Mohsen contacted Columbia and asked them for help, asked them for protection, for housing, to keep him safe. And then after Mahmoud was arrested, he sheltered in place. So it's not like he was unaware of the horrors and brutalities that were taking place around him. He did everything he could to protect himself, which ICE was aware of, because they then used Citizenship and Immigration Services to entrap Mohsen to come to his citizenship exam just to arrest him. There's really no words for how fucking evil that is. And I don't know if you're still under the illusion that the law matters, that any of these people care about coming into the country, quote unquote, legally, but it was never about legality. It was always about mentality and your beliefs and your physicality. If you do not subscribe to the exact same politics and whiteness that these people do, then you are a target. I don't know if it was because Mohsen was proactive and knew that this was possibly a trap, but a federal judge has already put in place a restraining order preventing him from being moved out of the state where he was arrested, which is Vermont. Because if you didn't know, when Mahmoud was arrested, he was immediately shipped out of state to Louisiana in a practice known as judge shopping. They put him in one of the most notorious detention facilities, one of the most horrifying detention facilities in Louisiana, so that he would be under a judge who would deport him. And I know a lot of people think that this is outside of their purview, that this is not something that they should care about or something that will affect them. And I do firmly believe that you should care about other people, period. And I don't really know how to teach people that you should care about other people, not just yourself. But if you do think that this will remain confined to Palestinians and supporters of Palestine, you are sorely fucking mistaken.